Well, Jordan, you definitely kicked up the heat, man.
Thank you.
Man, I really, this is a pleasure because we've never had anything like this here in our studio. I actually met you, what was that, 2007, 2008 at Boo's Brewery.
Yeah.
And
Open mic nights.
Justin said, we got this beatboxer up here. I'm like, yeah, everybody's a beatboxer. And you got up there and started spitting and started doing this layers and layers and layers. And I'm like, man, it sounds like a whole band. I'm like, I got to collaborate with this guy at some point. Sorry it took so long, but finally we got around to it.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit how you got started in creating beats and things like the music you're playing.
Sure. Yeah. Basically, when I learned about beatboxing, I was in high school. I learned about Rozelle. I learned about the Fat Boys and Dougie Fresh and kind of the hip hop roots of beatbox, and just started, with a microphone and a bass amp, and basically was trying to emulate a lot of those early pioneers of beatboxing, and trying to sing and beatbox at the same time with Rozelle's If Your Mother Only Knew, and trying to replicate those routines, and then I started learning more about looping and guys like Dub Effects and a lot of these beatboxers using effects pedals and multi-effects pedals to manipulate their voice, and just was always interested in that kind of sound and being able to layer stuff like you were saying. And I think it's difficult to go into that mindset of that's what I wanted to do, but once I started picking up the gear, I got the loop station. I started out with a loop pedal, and then kind of upgraded as I went along. And then, performing at open mics, I just started pushing myself. I started busking on the boardwalk. I'd go down to Ocean City, Maryland, and beatbox on the boardwalk for dollars, and kind of pushing myself and trying to get better every day. And that's when I started meeting more people in the music scene with the open mic nights, and collaborating with MCs. I lived in Erie for a little while, and the hip hop scene there was popping off, so I met a lot of talented MCs there, and then moved back to Harrisburg and kind of got into the more experimental music and live looping stuff.
So where has this beatboxing taken you in your musical career? What kind of places have you performed?
Sure. Well, all over. I mean, Harrisburg was definitely, most of our shows and gigs, but I was able to perform at the Bryce Jordan Center for Thon, Penn State's big, fundraiser for cancer, and being on a stage that big was something that was a first for me, and I think it was 15,000 people in that venue. So was able to take up opportunities like that. We kind of branched out a little bit towards Lancaster. We did some experimental shows. We played World Cafe Live in Philadelphia with my band, Des Sera, and just been able to play around, the local venues.
So you mentioned your band. Tell me a little bit about what that's all about.
Yeah, so my band, it's called Des Sera. Basically, I met the two female vocalists at HMAC, Harrisburg Midtown Arts Center open mic night. It was about 9 years ago now that I was there, and we had a good run where we were doing a lot of cool venues and a lot of cool house shows and things like that, and getting together with these experimental musicians that were touring through. So we got to open up for some pretty big names like indie artists, Diane Cluck and Cuddle Magic, and some of these bands that were coming through Harrisburg. So that's
now, is the band more like this style, or what's it consist of? What's the players in it?
Yeah, so it's more of, I would say, like a trip hop experimental style, where the players are two female vocalists, guitar, electric bass, and then synthesizers, and the beatbox, kind of as the backbone. So we're live looping a lot of things. We're using Voice Live Touch, and we're looping vocals at the same time. So it's very ethereal, very, chill out kind of style. And then with the beatbox kind of coming in as, the hip hop influence with it. So, that's the kind of style we're working with.
So, have you guys recorded, or do you have any albums out? What are you guys working on?
Yeah, right now we just kind of got back together after a little hiatus, and now all the members are back in the area. So we recorded recently with one of our members. Danny Braun is an recording engineer. So he set up with his YouTube channel and everything. It's called Ghost Town Sound. He recorded us, as a little showcase for ShareFest, the local festival.
Oh, yeah, I played there.
So we played at ShareFest, when it was our first year, I think 2013, we played at ShareFest. So, we're trying to come back around now. It's a virtual ShareFest, so it was recorded for that. And
how many songs did they give you?
That's a good question. I think 3 or 4 songs maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. And some of our songs go a little long. I think one of them was 11-minute, 12-minute songs. So that's kind of the style where it's very improvisational, and every time the song sounds a little bit different.
Yeah, that's what I like. So I seen you were saying that there might have been a little bit of mistakes in here, but I think the mistakes take you to a different place, and you sort of build on top of those mistakes because it's live, and that's the joy of creating in a live situation.
Definitely.
So I was watching your performance just now, and there were some things that you didn't plan in your head, but it went somewhere else, and it was like, oh man, this is improvised. This is art. This is really happening live. Yeah. That was kind of cool to watch, man.
Cool.
Well, what have you been doing during the pandemic? Have you been writing or creating new music?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff that you heard is kind of the stuff I've been, gearing towards. I've been, basically investing in synthesizers and drum machines and trying to make my own home studio. I just bought a house, so moving in and trying to make that my space so that I can have a little home studio, and just making investments like that in myself and in my music. And getting back together with my band. We rehearse every week, so we're trying to gear up to hopefully record some things. And we have a couple things that are recorded now, but nothing released yet. But that's the goal here. We'll get some stuff released this year.
Getting ready to take over when everything opens up.
Exactly, yeah. And it's tricky, but we're trying to do it as safely as we can, and that's the main thing. Is as long as we're all doing it safely and making sure that we're getting together as when we can.
So tell me about this single that you just came out with.
Sure. Yeah. This is more of like a synth wave, retro wave kind of sound of working towards, where it's all electronic synthesizers and analog drum machines and things like that. But it was the first time I really had something released on all platforms, and I'm developing all the visuals and stuff myself. So I'm an animator, and been making the music videos myself as well. So it's just a kind of way to express myself, and have a different kind of sound that's a little more electronic, a little more chill out and wavy, and that's really the direction I'm going with that.
That reminds me of Alejandro, Scary Pool, they call him.
Oh yeah.
From American Idol. Was it
Yeah,
American Idol?
Definitely.
Yeah, he performed on there, and it was like one personality. And when I went to follow him on Instagram, I was like, this is not the same guy I thought about. But he has all them animations, and it's like, and all these same stuff you're doing, the loops and all them things. And
oh yeah.
Man, I really dig that stuff. I really get down with that stuff.
Definitely. Yeah, when I saw his audition, I followed him a little bit, and people like that are just so inspirational, and they're super talented, and that's the kind of stuff that I like when people are doing it all like that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So is this your what is your day gig, or do you do this write and play full time?
No, my full-time gig is a social media specialist and multimedia specialist. So videos and live streaming. Lots of live streaming now, because all these events are pretty much just going to a hybrid format where they have, select few attendees, but everything else is broadcast for the attendees. So been working on stuff like that, and then managing social media accounts.
So you're still working in your trade. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm still able to make graphics, and I went to school for multimedia design. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I always tell people, they say, how do you be successful with music? And so maybe they tried something and it's not enough to pay their bills or to make a living. But if you think about all of the industry, if you stay in that industry, there's probably, I don't know, hundreds of jobs in the music industry.
Yeah.
You don't just have to do one job, but everything relates to that. So keeping it in your industry is the dream. You're basically living off of your music.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's the ultimate dream.
Definitely. And it's just working the day job and then making beats at night, and trying to push myself.
That's really cool. So what's next for you?
That's a good question. I'd say definitely trying to get the band going and get some stuff released with that, and we want to continue with the videos, and maybe developing our own YouTube channel and developing our own platform that way, so we can live stream if we can't actually play out. But that's the main thing. And then I'm going to continue releasing music with under Computer Machine. I have a lot of beats and a lot of things that are still just sketches, but developing them into more compositions, and just kind of continuing to work that way. So it's getting my arrangements, so it's more of an arranged thing than just loops and beats and things like that. So I'm trying to improve.
Cool. I'm definitely gonna be on the lookout for that stuff, and I would love in the future for one of these sessions to get the whole band in here, because now you got me. It's like candy. You got me. Got the sweet tooth going on here.
Good. Yeah, definitely be interested.
So is there anything you'd like to say to your fans before we wrap up?
Just thank you for your support. Thank you for listening, and if you can like me on all the platforms, that helps, because you see that engagement, you see people who are digging your stuff. It keeps you going.
All right, and there's going to be donation links. If you like what you heard, please donate and help these musicians keep going. It really does help, and we appreciate your support. Even by clicking that like button, it's a huge support. We're trying to grow a family here, and it's a very nice pleasure to have you a part of the family.
Appreciate it.
And man, that was a total blast. I'd love to do that again.
Great. Thank you again.
All right, till next time, you guys be safe out there.